Welcome back to my channel, where today we're going to be diving into a topic that might sound like the start of a bad joke, but is actually a significant trend with global implications. U.S. companies flee to Canada. Well, it turns out there are a number of factors at play. The country has a robust education system that produces a steady stream of talented workers in fields such as technology, finance, and engineering. Additionally, Canada's multicultural society attracts individuals from all over the world, creating a diverse talent pool that is highly sought after by employers. However, Canada does offer some pretty enticing tax incentives for new businesses. Is it just a small trickle of businesses or a full-on exodus? To find out, we turn to the experts at the Canadian American Business Council, or CAB. According to their research, a staggering 73% of U.S. companies are considering moving parts of their operations to Canada in the next 3 years, and a whopping 40% of those surveyed have already made the move. Its stable political environment, highly skilled workforce, excellent quality of life, and favorable tax incentives make it an appealing place to do business. While there are certainly challenges associated with relocating to a foreign country, the benefits of diversifying your supply chain, accessing new talent, for example, as more U.S. companies move to Canada, there is a risk that Canadian businesses may be overshadowed and that the Canadian economy may become reliant on foreign investment. Will the trend of U.S. companies fleeing to Canada continue to grow, or will it eventually reverse? At the same time, however, the U.S. also poses a significant threat to Canadian interests, whether it's through protectionist trade policies or environmental regulations that discriminate against Canadian companies. It's possible that the trend of U.S. companies moving to Canada will continue, driven by factors such as the desire for a more stable political environment, a highly skilled workforce, and favorable tax incentives. And only time will tell how this story will ultimately unfold. Alternatively, if relations between the two countries improve, we could see U.S. companies returning to Canada, or even Canadian companies expanding their operations south of the border, and the potential implications for the future of business between the two countries. And if you'd like to learn more about our services, please visit our website. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next one. What do you think? Are you surprised by the number of U.S. companies that are leaving the United States for Canada? Let us know in the comments below. While Canada has clearly emerged as a popular destination for U.S. companies in recent years, it is important to remember that every business is unique, and what works for one may not work for another. Some companies may find that the benefits of moving to Canada outweigh the challenges, while others may decide that staying put in the United States is the best option for them. Ultimately, the decision of where to locate a business is a personal one that should be based on careful consideration of all the relevant factors. Well, only time will tell. But one thing is for sure, the relationship between the two countries is complex and constantly evolving. It is important for Canadian policymakers to be aware of these potential risks and to take steps to mitigate them. And expanding into a new market make it a worthwhile endeavor for many companies. The country has a variety of tax breaks and subsidies designed to encourage investment and economic growth. As U.S. companies move to Canada, they bring with them new investment, new jobs, and new opportunities for the Canadian economy. This influx of foreign investment has helped to fuel Canada's economic growth and has allowed the country to attract even more businesses and talent from around the world. This is hardly surprising given the disruptions to the global supply chain caused by the pandemic and other recent events. By establishing a presence in Canada, U.S. companies can diversify their supply chains and reduce their reliance on any single country for manufacturing or distribution. It allows U.S. companies to diversify their operations and access new markets, while at the same time it brings new investment and opportunities to the Canadian economy. Only time will tell how this trend will continue to evolve in the coming years. But one thing is for sure, Canada is quickly establishing itself as a major player on the global stage, and its appeal as a destination for foreign investment is only growing. According to the survey, nearly half of U.S. companies that have attempted to relocate to Canada have encountered obstacles such as a shortage of skilled labor, difficulties navigating the regulatory environment, and challenges related to supply chain integration. Despite these challenges, however, the majority of companies that have moved to Canada report being satisfied with the move and would do it again. For example, Canada offers a generous research and development tax credit, which can provide significant savings for companies investing in innovation. In fact, 56% of companies under 5 years old are considering relocating to Canada compared to just 39% of older firms. This suggests that Canada's appeal as a business destination is growing. and that its reputation as a welcoming place for startups and small businesses is well deserved. One of the most significant is the increasingly uncertain regulatory environment in the United States. With frequent changes in government policy and a general sense of instability, many businesses are feeling uneasy about the future and are seeking more predictable conditions elsewhere. Canada, with its relatively stable political climate and well-established legal and regulatory framework, appears to be offering just that. That's right. A wave of American companies are abandoning the United States for the Great White North. And it's not just mom and pop businesses. We're talking major corporations. In this video, we'll explore the reasons behind this unusual migration and what it means for the future of business on both sides of the border. So buckle up and get ready to discover why Canada is suddenly the hot new destination for U.S. companies looking to set up shop elsewhere. So why are all these U.S. companies suddenly packing their bags and heading north? Another major draw for U.S. companies is Canada's highly skilled workforce. But it's not just about brains. Canada also boasts an impressive quality of life. Major cities like Toronto and Vancouver consistently rank among the world's most livable, offering residents a high standard of living, excellent healthcare, and a thriving cultural scene. This makes Canada an attractive destination for businesses looking to attract and retain top talent. Finally, let's talk about taxes. While no one loves paying taxes, they are unfortunately a fact of doing business anywhere. So those are the basics of why U.S. companies are flocking to Canada. But you may be wondering, how big of a deal is this really? What's more, 80% of U.S. companies cite supply chain diversification as the primary reason for their shift northwards. Another key finding from the CAB study is that younger, more innovative firms are particularly drawn to Canada. While the benefits of moving to Canada are clear, it's worth noting that the process is not without its challenges. For U.S. companies seeking to expand their global footprint, Canada offers a compelling combination of factors that make it an attractive destination. And it's not just the businesses themselves that are benefiting from this trend. However, it's important to note that while Canada is certainly benefiting from the influx of U.S. companies, this trend is not without its potential downsides. But overall, the trend of U.S. companies moving to Canada is a positive development for both countries. So what does this all mean for the future of U.S.-Canada relations? On the one hand, the United States is Canada's largest trading partner and a major destination for Canadian exports. As the relationship between the two countries continues to develop, it will be interesting to see how Canadian businesses adapt and evolve in response to the challenges and opportunities that lie ahead. One thing is clear: the future of U.S.-Canada relations will be shaped by a complex interplay of economic, political, and environmental factors. At the end of the day, the decision of where to locate a business is a complex one that involves a careful consideration of a wide range of factors. We hope that this video has shed some light on the reasons behind the trend of U.S. companies moving to Canada. If you enjoyed this video, please don't forget to like and subscribe for more informative content on international business, economics, and current events.